Everyone, this is Sheila from Naubee's Creations, and I wanted to share this tutorial with you on how to make a paper bag. It's really easy, it's really fun, and it is a great way to use up extra paper that you may have lying around the house. This particular size bag that I'm making is made from a 12 by 6 sheet of cardstock or designer paper, and if you use this measurement, you will get 2 bags out of one 12 by 12 sheet. Okay, so let's get started. It's really simple. So again, I took a 12 by 12 sheet, I cut it in half, so it now measures 6 by 12, so 6 inches by 12 inches, and you're going to make 3 score lines. Okay, so I flipped my paper over on my scoreboard, and you will score at 3 inches and at 8.5 inches. Okay, 3 inches and 8.5 inches, and then on the 12-inch side, you're going to turn your paper and you're going to score at 1.5 inches from the bottom. Okay, very easy. 1.5 inches from the bottom is a score line, 3 inches is a score line, and at 8.5 inches, you have a score line. Alrighty, now let's start to fold our paper. On those score lines, you're just going to want to go ahead and fold those up. And you want to use your bone folder. This particular paper that I'm using is a thin sheet of paper, but I still want to use my bone folder to go ahead and get crisp lines in the paper, and you will appreciate that later on in the process. And now I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to fold, excuse me, I got tongue-tied. I'm going to go ahead and fold it at my score line, just making sure that's as straight as I possibly can have it. There we go. And then I'm going to turn and fold on my other score line. Very simple, right? Scoring and folding, no pressure there. We can all do that. Score. There we go. And now we're going to seal our bag or glue our bag. Now, it doesn't matter if you fold with one flap over the other, inside. It doesn't matter left or right, as long as you have one flap overlapping the other, which is perfect. I personally like to use a glue stick on this project because it's easy breezy. It's and just simple. So I'm just going to run it along the seam, or along the edge, sorry, of the fold here. And then I'm going to turn my bag, and I am going to add glue on the edge of this seam. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's going to give me, it's going to reinforce the attachment of the seam of my bag. And then I'm just going to fold it over and give that a nice rub. And there we have it. The bag is now starting to take shape. I'm going to turn my paper so that the score line that I made at the 1.5 inch mark is facing me. The other thing I'm doing is I'm making sure that the back of the bag is facing me, the back with the seam on it that we just made. So perfect, no problem. Take your paper and fold at that 1.5 inch score line that you made. Go ahead and fold it and reinforce your fold with your bone folder. You want to make sure that that fold is nice and crisp, and that is going to help you as soon as we get to our next step. So just reinforcing my folds with my bone folder. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the bag, and I am going to make sure that the bag is open at the bottom. There we have it. And now just very gently push this in. And when you do that, just make sure that your fold lines are meeting up with one another so that your triangle is matched up. There you go. One triangle. How easy is that? Do the same thing on the other side, making sure those lines are matched up. Second triangle. How easy is that? Reinforce it with your bone folder. Again, you'll appreciate this in just a couple of seconds. Take the edge that is closest to you and fold that up a little bit over halfway. Crease that. Reinforce it with your bone folder. Have on hand some type of adhesive. You can use your glue stick if you want. If you have sticky strip, you can use sticky strip if you want. I actually have my score tape near me, so I am going to use score tape. I actually like it for this project because I can just tear it. I don't have to worry about picking up my scissors and cutting and all that. So I'm just going to add my score tape here to the bottom of my paper bag. Give that a good rub. Remove the adhesive backing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this other flap, the second flap, and I'm going to fold it over in such a way that it overlaps the bottom one. Not all the way, but just so that it covers the adhesive that I put on there. And then go ahead and crease that fold. Easy enough, right? There we go. So our bag is really starting to take shape. We've just created the base for our bag, which is great. Now we're going to fold in the side so that we'll have a bag that can expand, if you will, almost like an accordion fold, if you will, so that we'll have space to hold thick items. I mean, we really could use this and it would be like a one-dimension bag, but we wanted to be able to hold a couple of items. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our bag and we're going to make a fold along the side so that this edge here is in line with this seam at the bottom. Now, you may not be able to see it on camera, but if you're following along with me with paper, if you're folding your bag, you'll know exactly which seam I'm talking about. It's that first flap that we folded down. So let's just make that fold. And these two lines will be parallel to one another, and they don't have to touch. Just get them, close, or line them up where they're sort of bumping into each other. Mine are not touching, but that's okay. And we're just going to go ahead and make that fold. And again, we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to reinforce that fold that we just made. And it's a good idea to work this fold on the others going in the opposite direction, because again, you're going to appreciate it when we expand our bag. So there you have it. Okay, so now we have our fold. And now we're going to do the same with the other side. I'm just going to turn my bag so that it's closest to me so that I can see my little line here. And I'm going to make this edge line up with this seam. Okay, and again, mine is not touching. Yours could be touching. It's totally up to you. Either way. And I'm going to reinforce my fold with my bone folder and get that nice and crisp. And now I'm just going to fold it back in the other direction, just working out a little bump there. That's okay. A little bubble. It's no problem. And now we are going to fold this. Reinforce our fold with our bone folder. Just kind of give our bag a once over. There we have it. Flip it back over, and now we have fold lines on either side, and we have our base. Now what do we do? Very simple. Open your bag. Stick your hand in there, open it up, and now we have a bag that looks sort of like this with the points on the end. Well, what do you want to do? All you want to do is you want to take your finger and you want to sort of push that score line in. Go ahead and push that in. And you may have to, sorry about that, I pulled out of the view of the camera. You may just have to, fuss with it a little bit here on the end, but that's okay. Do the same thing on the other side. Turn your bag and push your score line that is sticking out like a mountain and valley, the one that's the mountain. And then just kind of put your finger in your bag and sort of push this side in here a little bit. And that's because the paper is real thick right there. No problem. And now, just kind of fuss with that a little bit. And now you have a paper bag that can expand. And now when you fold it down, lay it down on your table, and the paper is naturally going to fold like so. Okay, and you just go ahead and fold it. And then what I do is I take my bone folder and I just give it a nice once over with the bone folder, reinforcing those creases that we made, or those fold lines. I do it on that side. And then what I do is I flip my bag over, turn my base down, just like a lunch bag. Remember those brown paper bags that we used to carry our lunches in? If you ever took your lunch to school, I know I did back in the day. And then open your bag once more, and look at that. You have a nice paper bag, and I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit. You'll have a nice paper bag to put all of your little goodies in. Isn't that cute? Now, if you wanted to, for added interest, you could take a hole punch and just kind of give your edge a decorative edge, or you could cut it with the, if you have those deco scissors, you can do that. I'm going to take a hole punch, and I'm just going to, and it doesn't matter what size, it's up to you. I'm just going to center it as best I can, and just take a little bit less than half of the circle out. There we go. And now at the top of my bag, I now have the little groove there. Isn't that neat? And you can make 2 bags from one 12 by 12 sheet, and you can put little treats in there, like this is a post-it note book that I made, a mini post-it notebook. I think it is so cute. I love to make these, and they fit perfectly in this little bag. So when I'm at a craft fair, if someone purchases a post-it notebook, here's a cute little bag to put it in, and I don't have to give them the oversized bag for just one item. Isn't that adorable? Love it. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you will have fun making your own bags, and have a great day. Thanks.